Live. I'm on air. It just told me that I can broadcast up to 8 hours, so I have strapped on a catheter and I'm ready to do this. Just some mindless nonsense going on in the world right now. I got Gary G-Man, who is apparently going to make a video about me and my racism. He has proof, which is amazing because this is the... I'm on air. Oh, Jesus, my own voice. Broadcast up to 8. The same guy who does not have proof for the existence of God, but claims that he does, and doesn't have the slightest idea what burden of proof is, apparently has proof that I'm a racist. So aside from that, I've been talking to a brony and a furry online. The furry was anonymous, didn't want to say his name. Typical Generation Peer, pussy. I find it funny that he thinks it's socially acceptable. There's nothing wrong with being a furry, although he will not release his name. Afraid, like raw fear. The brony would not show a picture of herself. She's like, oh, here's my Facebook. It's all private. And there's no pictures of me. But anyway, I'm going to go to the gym soon because I don't want to be fat. Because if I was fat, that would be shameful. And I would do a video on myself shaming myself. So to avoid that, I will be going to the gym. Before I do that, though, I want to respond to any and all questions that my flying monkeys might have. Oh, so please, jump in. Don't be shy. I will answer your question. Just ask me what you want to know. I know all things. I sit on top of a mountain. I'm a goddamn guru. I should write a self-help book. I'm a life coach. I'm the life coach you never had, but need. Okay, Devin, stop lying. You don't go to the gym, you skinny fuck. Wait a minute, I'm getting skinny shamed? What, you want me to roid up? You want me to start taking protein? Are you kidding me? I challenge anybody to say that to my face. Martin Michel. Out of everyone here, I'm the only one using my real name. I really think I'm on something here. I think this is a fundamental problem with the entire social justice mob mentality of people online. It's put your fucking name to your fucking statements. Simple as that. Before we had the internet, this is just something we automatically did. If you were to send a message to somebody else without putting your name to it, do you know what you'd be called? A kidnapper. That's what a kidnapper did. He'd cut out little letters from different magazines and newspapers, and he'd be like, aha, here's my message to you. I will not sign my name to it for obvious reasons, because I'm ashamed, and this wouldn't work out well for me if people knew that it was me saying this. Yeah, speaking of fat shaming, what do you think of Nicole Arbour video? I love Nicole Arbour. I think she's hysterically funny. I think she is to be commended. The response video she did to her viral video was magnificent. I'm seriously considering doing a video just based on that, splicing in the poor victims out there, the creationist cat and Jacqueline Glenn and all these people. No, it's not right. It's not fair. Being fat, there's nothing wrong with being fat. No, there's everything wrong with being fat. This is a ridiculous statement. Once again, an uncomfortable truth that these pussies are not equipped to deal with, don't want to deal with it. How do you feel about Bernie Sanders? I am so underwhelmed by Bernie Sanders. I would not vote for him to be president of the PTA, let alone the country. Never in a million years. First of all, the man in his 70s, who's his VP? More importantly, who would his VP be? You think I am going to be excited about a progressive in off? No, no. That being said, I'm not super stoked on Hillary. I'd rather have Obama in for another term. Do like a Roosevelt type scenario. I'm not that thrilled about Obama when it comes to Islam. This is the guy famous for saying ISIS has nothing to do with Islam. Islam is a religion of peace. He's a freaking Christian. I mean, what are my choices here? My choices are shit, but look who we're going up against. Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. If those are my choices, I'm going Bernie Sanders. But no, I am not thrilled or excited about him in the slightest. Boris is doing a video on Nicole Arbour. Nice. Good. I want to see it. I mean, these viral things, people jump on it and they're like, ooh, I'm going to protect the fat people of the world. It's so stupid. Rue, do you plan on doing a video solely on skinning the cat? Yeah. Yeah, I've already recorded 2 hours of audio, which I got to chop up. Quite animated, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I'm going to do it in parts because obviously nobody's going to watch 2 hours in a row, even though I regularly post up 4-hour videos. Yeah, I'm just breaking down his video basically. And I would do more on the man Vadim Newquist. But the man Vadim Newquist doesn't post up stuff in his own name. He did, for a split second, defending Vester Flanagan, the black racist who killed those 2 white people, but then he took it down because I commented on the video saying, "You're in trouble. I'm about to do a response video to this." So he took it down. That's the kind of guy we're up against. But yeah, I will be eviscerating that fucking cunt. And he put me in another video. He said I would be a good match for Nicole Arbor. I mean, just ridiculous. The guy's like, "I don't like bullies. I I sense that this person's a bully and I'm going to protect the weak." I wonder why, Vadim. I wonder how your childhood was like. Vadim, you have a mustache. I'm talking about a guy with a mustache. Let that sink in. All right, I'm trying to stay. Will you do a hangout with Sargon? I heard rumblings that Sargon's busy. Sargon is doing a million things, has a million interests. I don't see much dissent between me and Sargon. So, there's a reason why it's not exciting to have a TV show with no conflict. I don't know. If he invites me, I've never been invited. I haven't been invited to do it. I haven't been invited to go on a hangout with G-Man and the Drunken Peasants. Going on the Drunken Peasants and defending that I'm, quote, not a racist would be like Ned Stark trying to defend that he's not a traitor to Joffrey and the mob of people ready to execute him. That's not a good idea. It's not happening. Any way to know if the brown buffalo has seen any of your brilliant videos? I would say, yeah, he probably has at some level. I mean, some of them have slipped through the cracks. The man is such an egomaniac, though, that the second he recognizes something as negative, like, oh, this is a critical, oh, he was insulting me. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I got to get back on the victory lap that is my life. That's what's happening in his brain. I mean, he's got kids to feed. Prometheus Maximus, he's got a lot of bills, doctor bills, soccer camp, whatever. God. G-Man is a dumbass. Yeah, I mean, of course. It's amazing that G-Man has so few subscribers. I mean, what percentage of his subscribers are hate subscribers? That's my real question. Have you thought about doing a video on the Bible Reloaded guys and their hypocrisy regarding, hold on, shaming Dusty Smith for a joke on Facebook? It's weird considering their atomic bomb jokes. Yeah, those guys are just two putsy, like, dorks. Regular old regressives. I mean, the intellectual gravitas they're bringing to the table is they're making fun of Christians. I mean, okay, I'm sure there are some recent converts away from Christianity to atheism who are excited about the prospect of making fun of Christians. It's like, thank you guys. It's really exciting content. And apparently they made a fun of, or they shamed Dusty Smith. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Dusty Smith, first of all, is a comedian. I mean, that's what he tries to do. And of course, he's edgy. And anybody who's critical of somebody trying to make a joke it's just the most lame stance to take. You're not understanding humor. It's just totally shamefully weak. I could teach Sargon a thing or two about Islam. I mean, yeah, I mean, Sargon, he's a Bernie Sanders guy. I mean, I'm sure there are some regressive, tinges in there. But from what I've heard of him, most of the stuff he says is spot on. But that's because most of the stuff is easy to figure out. This is not rocket science, you guys. Good Lord. There's no way Sargon is going to tell me that Islam is not a problem. I mean, I would be highly surprised. Yeah, okay. AIU, are you ever going to debate that kid who made a video on you a couple weeks ago? The one who openly invited you to go against in a video. Are you talking about that fat, like, mouth breather who was, like, hitting the ceiling of his basement? Are you serious? I mean, if there is a public outcry for me to debate that guy, I will reach out to him. I just had a debate idea floated around with me and this furry. A furry wants to debate me and explain to me why it's okay to be a furry. I mean, that's where we're at, guys. G-Man and furries. I mean, and the fucking micro penis crew Cartman voice panel over at the Drunken Peasants. These are my competition. These are the people that I'm being offered. If I cared about subscriptions, if I cared about popularity, I might be going on a different tact here. You might not see me taking on issues like race, like religion for starters, or fellow atheists. Neil deGrasse Tyson. You don't see many people, critical of Neil within the atheist community. Maybe within the quote agnostic community or within the I don't like label community, maybe they're doing it, but I'm not seeing it. So yeah, I mean, if you want me to debate somebody, suggest it. I'm more than willing to publicly shame people. You saw what I did to the Canadian atheist. That did not go well for him. That thing is a testament to public bitch slappery. It's sitting up online for anybody who wants to just soak it in for a second time. And this guy still hasn't gotten the point. He's still calling me a Nazi. So it's priceless. That guy is priceless. And he's in the process of getting additional roses tattooed on his arm, full color. And I'm not talking red roses, I'm talking pink. Okay, a grown man, Muslim beard, works on an oil patch, and he has pink flowers on his arm. Yeah, so let me continue with these questiones. Let's see if we get some haters in here. Usually White Supremacy is Unstoppable shows up to these, but maybe he's sleeping. What would you do with a chance to be alone in a room with the buffalo? Yeah, that's a good question. I think he's so far removed. I think his ego is in another dimension now. I don't think he is capable of admitting he's wrong or having his arm twisted back to a sane position. I might just let him know how I feel about him in a few choice sentences, and yeah, just look him in his eye and tell him what I think of him. I think that's a good thing in general. I think in-person conversations are much different in nature than what you see from the generation peers. Okay. Drunken peasants don't deserve attention. You should keep it with Hitchens. What can be asserted with evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is, especially on these claims of racism. I mean, it's unbelievable. You get online, you say, who is doing what, and people call you a racist. Here are the people, and here's what these people are doing. These are the statistics. Okay, you're a racist. That's where we're at. That's really all there is to this. How are the refugees doing in Germany? Yeah, there's actually a few. I was talking to my girlfriend's mom who lives in a small town, very small, and she's like, yeah, we got a couple hundred Syrians here now. She's like, yeah, I was walking around town the other day, I saw a black guy. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck is the world coming to? The blacks are coming. The blacks are coming. Yeah, I mean, it's very awkward and strange, but they have an unbelievable welfare state here, and they're very efficient, and they know how to get shit done. So they're training these people, or that's not a verb, is it? They're putting these people on trains to all different sections of Germany, and we're going to be getting a million Muslims. Now, we all know that not all million of those Muslims are moderate Muslims. We know that a huge percentage of those people are in favor of Sharia law, are in favor of, terribly backward stances on women, gays, freedom, democracy, freedom of speech. We know that there will be terrorists in that group. Within that million, we know that there's no way that's not true. ISIS supporters flat out, or ISIS members. So I don't know how thrilled we should be about importing with open arms some ISIS members into this country. There's a guy here who supports ISIS who's already threatened to kill me, who I will be doing a video on. Of course he's not going to release his name. Of course. Oh, he's a Generation Peer. There's Generation P members within Islam, within the jihadist community. I mean, of course they're Generation P. They're not going to reveal their name. I want to kill you. You should be dead. Praise to Allah. By the way, my name is Mahmoud, and I live over here. No, that's not happening. Keep up the brilliant work. Well, thank you. I try my best. I have tried to make you laugh and think, and really, this has been an accident. This is an accidental channel, which I made without any intention of making it. I intended to make one video about Kirk Cameron. I made it while in Korea, in a coffee shop in Seoul, Korea, in response to a video that he made, which was the trailer to his movie called Unstoppable. And so I did a video. What am I going to title it? Atheism is Unstoppable. That was the end. That was the end. But then Sam Harris said, hey, I need somebody to make me a video. And so I said, Sam, I would never turn down the request of a Jew, because I love the Jews, the 0.2%, the unicorns, which I've made abundantly clear. But apparently, I am the worst KKK member in the history of the KKK, because I am radically pro-Jew and pro-Israel. And I have every reason to be so. By the way, that's not just some fringe stance of mine. That's the sane stance. That's normal. That's logical. That's default. You should be pro-Israel, pro-Jew. For me to have to explain that to you, it makes me embarrassed. I peed a little bit in my pants at the notion that I have to explain to you why you need to be pro-Israel. Now, moving along. Newest TYT video, are condoms more effective than pulling out? Journalism at its finest. Oh my God. The Young Turks just crank stuff out. It's like a sausage factory for just clickbait dog shit. Oh, it's a never-ending source. If I could do this full-time, I would. And I would never run out of content. Because it's not just, oh, let's bash the religious. Hey, the Christians are stupid. Let's make fun of the Christians again. There's way more stupid to address. Way more weakness to address. Nicole Arbor is not wrong. The people that criticize Nicole Arbor are wrong, must be shamed. Fuck fat shaming, that's level 1. We need to shame the people who shamed the person who is in favor of fat shaming. That's advanced shit, and that's where I step in. Pussies, there's so many goddamn pussies out there in Generation P. Imagine. It's an appropriate name though. I want you to spread that. Spread that meme, the way regressive has spread. I saw Vindicator, a subscriber of mine, use the word regressive in one of his videos. And since that moment, I told myself I will never utter the word beep again, because they are not that word, they are regressive. And I see it pop up all the time, all the time. I think Majid Nawaz wrote an article the other day. He used the word regressive. It is an accurate assessment of their stance on a myriad of topics. All right, I'm going slow here. I know the comments are piling, but I'm trying to go through them. What do you think of doing a classic series from your first 3 channels? You have like 350 videos, many of which are worth a second watch. Would help to keep the flying monkeys busy between videos. Yeah, I mean, there are some videos I could re-mirror. It's not exactly that difficult to do, and it's not, I'm not pushing the boundaries of creativity, but I mean, if you guys haven't seen the stuff on the first channel, it's pretty good. I guess I could do like a best of, sure. There's other stuff I'd love to get to about atheism, about things of that nature, more philosophical in nature. Like I have a whole series on death. I want to talk about death in a very real, honest way. I know my Eternal Life fan is probably excited about that prospect because that's on the tip of his brain at all times. But I want to do that. I want to do another series on Sweden. I just saw a very frightening video about Belgium today, but Sweden is just asking for a video series. Australia, I'd love to, go back and do another video on my Australia series. I mean, Sam Harris is going to Australia in January. I wish I could go down there and follow him like a freaking groupie. I mean, imagine that. Just go down to Australia for like, I mean, it'd be amazing. Go down to Australia in November to see Ronda Rousey fight and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That's a hard name to pronounce. The Polish champion at the 115 pound. They're fighting in November in front of 70,000 people in Melbourne. Melbourne, the greatest city on earth, like scientifically proven, the #1 city. Always in the top 5. In front of 70,000 people, the largest stadium sellout for a UFC event ever. You go there for Ronda Rousey, then you stay for Sam Harris. Now that's a nice little trip. Problem is, it would cost you an arm and a leg because the goddamn Aussies have an economy that makes 0 sense. Everything is super duper expensive. The only way it makes sense is if you divide by 2. I took my girlfriend to see a movie in Sydney. Cost me about $55 with popcorn. Go on DP pussy. Somebody ban that guy. Somebody ban him. I mean, what a fucking absurd, ridiculous. First of all, why would I do what they want me to do? They, total strangers, okay? We're talking about miniature penised obese men. They get online in front of hundreds of thousands of people. I don't know them, and they slander me for hours on end. Multiple videos. This guy's a racist. Fuck this guy. He's stupid. He's this. He's that. What do I owe them? So now I'm supposed to go into their fucking horde of mongoloids and be like, hey, I'm not a racist. Here's my black friend. La, 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 oh my God, what the fuck? No, I say my piece on my own time in my own forum. Fuck the drunken peasants and fuck TJ. Pussy blocked me anyway. That pussy blocked me. And for anybody who needs to know the difference between me blocking a smattering of autistic losers out there, there's a difference between me doing that, which is completely righteous and I will do to the end of time, and me addressing a guy who has like 1 million followers, who is the #1 most popular atheist YouTuber in the history of atheism, in the history of YouTube, and in the history of the internet. If this guy is publicly slandering me baselessly, yeah, I think I need to address him. That's important. Moving on. Greetings. What do you think of Majid Nawaz and the fact that leftist regressives like Max Blumenthal, oh my God, you triggered me, and CJ Werleman, motherfucker, you did a double whammy, have so much animosity towards him? Yeah, I mean, of course they do. I love Majid Nawaz. Love the man. Can't wait for the book tour with him and Sam Harris. The guy is 1,000% right on 99% of the issues. Now, he's a Muslim. He's the most innocuous Muslim you could have. He's a Muslim. His Muslimness is about as worrisome to me as somebody being a fan of Alice in Chains. I'm not a fan of Alice in Chains. I'm a Nirvana guy. But if you are a fan of Alice in Chains, go for it. So long as it doesn't affect me. So long as you don't think you have to chop off my hands if I'm not an Alice in Chains fan. Simple as that. Majid Nawaz deserves way more subscribers, for starters, and I support everything he does. Brave beyond all get out. He is the antithesis of a Jen Peer. Majid Nawaz is kryptonite to pussification. The man is brave, brazen, and is doing amazing things. I want to go to a strip club with him. Yeah, Max Blumenthal, obviously, Judas, self-hating Jew, reprehensible, rat-faced little motherfucker, regressive. I mean, you could group all these people together. There's a common thread. This is a type of person. This is the type of person that got picked last at kickball in elementary school, okay? Those are the people who are like, wait a minute, I'm not playing kickball anymore. I'm out of school. Oh my God, that traumatic period of my life is over. And now I have a platform? What? I can hide behind some anonymous mask? Well, the thing is, Max Blumenthal, he doesn't hide. He's not like Vadim Newquist and others who hide and try to talk shit from the back of a mob. No, he's outspoken. And there's enough regressives out there who applaud him. He's got his own echo chambers. So when Ben Affleck gets up and says, oh, it's gross, it's racist, the people on The View stand up and say, oh, Ben Affleck for president. Amazing. That's how widespread this is. I mean, if I changed tact and started saying regressive talking points, I would have a huge following. Huge. Nobody wants to hear the truth. Fuck the truth. Are you kidding me? My subscriber base would skyrocket in places like Germany, Canada, America, Sweden. They love me. They'd be like, oh my God, finally this guy. Australia. There's so many. This is an interesting dividing line. Okay? It's not about who believes in God, who doesn't. Obviously, that's important. But within the people who don't believe in God, there's a major division that deserves to be drawn in sand, not in sand, in cement. The people that are pussies and who are dumb and retarded on these topics, you stand on that side. Me, Autopsy 87, Sargon of Akkad, we're going to stand over here. Okay, there's a huge difference here, people. And we are now fleshing that out because some of us have moved beyond the point of, hey, here's a Christian with a stupid idea. Let's make fun of him again. In the same way that we've made fun of him time and time again. You got to advance. You got to evolve. Okay, this atheism 1.0 shit it's so tired. Move on. CJ Werleman, by the way, his book, if anybody wants to buy that book and read it, I might do like a weekly, monthly series of reading chapters of that book and commenting. Because you know there's some gold in there. What do you think about the refugees coming to Europe? I'm curious about your opinion on Poland. It seems like the last bastion of non-progressive bullshit. Well, Poland and also Hungary. Hungary, we talked about in the Hangout. They said, Hungary is for the Hungarians. We don't like Muslims. This is what the Japanese have said. Just straight up. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, you think we should be ashamed about that? Like, it's amazing to me. Anna Kasparian said it on The Young Turk. She's like, unbelievably, a politician in Hungary said, Hungary for the Hungarians? Wow. I mean, seriously, how hateful and xenophobic is that? As if being Hungarian, as if there's not other nationalities and other ethnicities within Hungary. I mean, fuck, Budapest was mostly, well, not mostly, but it had a huge Jewish population. When I lived in Budapest, I would go and visit these wondrous synagogues. I went to the Holocaust Museum. They have their own Holocaust Museum in Budapest. Now, during World War II, they shipped out about 500,000 of them, like in 1944. Like, just, they beat the bell. And they sent them all over to Poland, ironically, to be killed. So there's not that many there anymore. But yeah, Poland, I'm all in favor of this. An immigration policy in which it's just, hey, America for anybody who wants to come here and take our shit and live off the system we have created. Take advantage of it. Swamp us. Overpopulate us. This is insanity. It's insanity. You must have rules and regulations. There must be order to this. Otherwise, all of the people from countries that are sinking ships will jump from those ships and sink the good countries. Sort of obvious. I mean, ask people from around. You have a global conversation. In any one of my hangouts, I will talk to people from all different parts of the world. France, England, Sweden. The same story pops up. They're like, not thrilled about these people, what they represent, what they're doing. Okay, we are not talking about PhDs of Japanese descent moving into your hometown. We are talking about members of a death cult who are prone to crime and rape. What am I basing that on? Basing that on reality. Basing that on the stats of the Moroccans in the Netherlands. Basing that on the prison stats of the people in France. Oh, I dare you. If you are a regressive out there right now listening, you Google and search who is in the prison in France. Is it Muslims or non-Muslims? And in what percentage and by what per capita? You will be shocked and horrified. That's all we're asking. Obey the golden rule. Obey the platinum rule. Don't be an asshole. These people do not do that. Therefore, they are a problem. Therefore, I am concerned about them. Will you ever do a video on the guy from Secular Talk? He really irritates me. Yes, that man is an absolute irritant. That man looks like he is just forever 21. Okay? The man looks totally uncomfortable in a suit and tie. He does this broadcast out of his basement or wherever, and he's got a massive following. It's ridiculous. He's just yet another puppet, regressive puppet, who spits out the same stupid ideas. And once again, he's a guy whose ego and whose echo chamber is so large that he's never going to come back to Earth. Now, that being said, he's not as bad as other regressives out there. He has shown glimmering, like little inklings of sanity, but then he swamps it with fucking, some anti-Israel bullshit, just some totally demented. I mean, what is he reading is my question. What is this man? He wakes up in the morning, he reads 10 websites. They're all regressive websites. And then he reacts to the story that he just read from the regressive website. This is just rinse and repeat. There's nothing new. There's no, why is he not debating people? Why don't you have somebody on your show that doesn't agree with you? No. It's not about that. It's about just speaking your mind, getting it off your chest, and then getting, a standing ovation from your minions. Atheism is unstoppable. Have you heard of Venom Fang X? Yeah, isn't that psycho sociopath looking dude, some religious nut job who came online, did a bunch of stuff. I don't know if he still does stuff. I mean, it's so boring. Oh God. I mean, imagine how painful this would be. Christopher Hitchens comes back to life. And what does he choose to do with his time? Go after Christians. Argue the doctrines of Christianity, the claims of Christianity. I mean, imagine how intellectually retarded that would be. Like, yeah, Christopher Hitchens is back. He just came back to life, and he's going to do a debate with Kent Hovind. It's like, oh, God, no. We're moving past. We've moved on. It's not exciting for us. Maybe if you're not a true blood atheist, and you're sort of like, look, I dipped my toe into atheism. Look, I made this transition, but I'm kind of guilty. I'm not exactly totally sure about this. So I enjoy scratching the itch of having these arguments presented. And I like seeing the Christian side get dogpiled on. And that gives me satisfaction. It makes me know I'm in the right camp. This does not excite true blood atheists like myself, who has been an atheist from the get-go. Okay, out of the womb. During the first 3 months of my delivery, I was baffling. I was waffling. I mean, I was agnostic, you might say, but I moved on. If a debate was to occur between TJ the Fat and Rue Stark, it should be by a third neutral party. Yeah, I mean, but see, going down that road, you have these formalized debates, and it's lame. It's like, okay, here's my rebuttal. Have a conversation. I would have a conversation with the guy. In fact, in the video, I just did a video about him this morning, which I have yet to edit. But I mean, I challenged the guy to a fist fight. Like, I want him for charity, have his subscribers pay for it all. Come to Germany or meet me in Vegas, and we will fight for a good cause. It could be the NAACP. Okay? He has challenged me online on Twitter, this fat barf. He's a big talker. It turns out that little old American expat alpha male is coming back to America to kick some ass, to kick some fat ass. He's not going to like that. And yeah, if he wants to have a conversation in private, I would do that. I'm definitely not going to make him money and give him what he wants by going on the Drunken Peasants. That's retarded. Devin, there is a meeting between Majid Nawaz and Sam Harris being streamed live tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Harvard's website. Holy shit, you're right. You're right. I had totally forgotten about that. Okay, hold on. 6 p.m. Eastern time. What is that in Germany? That is 6 hours. That is midnight. And I will be watching that. And if it's downloadable, fuck it. Even if it's not, I will be screen capping that and probably making a video about it. Just like I did with the Dave Rubin, Sam Harris video, where I did the Reza remix, which now has something like 18,000 views. Why? Because I am a giver. As we know, I'm the giving tree of atheism. I am the, what is it called? Simon Cowell of atheism. I'll take that too. What is your opinion on the YouTuber Autopsy87? Now, this guy is a regressive motherfucker. No, he's awesome. Autopsy87 is awesome. Autopsy87 is a man. You got to go to the bowels of Texas to find a fucking man in this world, in the middle of Generation P. And he's younger than me, so he is more prone to have been sucked into the vortex of social justice and pussydom. But guess what? A guy with long hair, a guy who's into metal, a guy from Texas, yeah, I'm not surprised he's a man. And it's encouraging and inspiring that he's correct. By the way, do you guys like how I do this off the cuff? This is live. I'm listening to myself talk. I sound exactly like I do in my videos. I'm not like rehearsing this shit. This is me. This is who I am. You know why? Because I'm different. I'm different than high school dropouts and losers. I have a background. I have credentials. I'm a graduate of UCLA. I have a degree. I sound like Reza Aslan now. I went to better school than Reza Aslan. Fuck Reza Aslan. Jesus Christ. But the proof is in the pudding. Listen to what I'm saying. There's no editing going on here. Fuck it, I'll do it live. Anyway, yeah, Autopsy 87 is, I've never seen a video of him that I've disagreed with. Not one. And beyond that, he is addressing important issues like Islam and race. What more can I say about him? I applaud the man. I'm in favor of him. I should do a collaboration with him. I should do a Google Hangout with him. I did one, but there's other people in there. And we should just it'll be a circle jerk, and we'll give each other compliments, and we'll go back and forth like a tennis match. Sounds good to me. Did you say you'd align with Bernie Sanders? Do you align with socialism? No, I don't align. I align with Bernie Sanders if my choices are Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders. This is the point. We live in a world that's so simplified. It's binary. It's like you're either on the left, you're the right, Democrat, or Republican. So are you telling me that my choices are Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders? No. Within the left, there's a huge spectrum of ideas. And that's what we are talking about when we're trying to create a new version of the left. The sane left, the rational left, the non-regressive left. Anything, however you want to call it. Ben Affleck is on the left. The women on The View are on the left. Jacqueline Glenn is on the left. So am I supposed to give her a pass on all these other issues? You have to prioritize what's important to you. So what are the issues that you are willing to vote on? Stand up for. That's why the Republicans, when the election comes, they go to the social issues. They try to drum up fear, and they say, oh, gay marriage is a thing, or abortion. And they wave this flag of, we need to be scared of this group of people, or hey, God, you remember God? We believe in God. You believe in God. Let's vote for God, right? We're all the God people. Because to them, the issue of God and abortion and those things are important to them. More important than, say, whatever, tax or foreign affairs. These things are irrelevant to them. But politics bore me. Politics bore me. If I had a channel called, I don't know, Democrats are unstoppable, nobody would be here because it's boring. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing it. Devin, did you watch FMJ's last match? And what did you think about it? FMJ? What is FMJ? Am I supposed to know what FMJ is? Match. What is that, a chess match? Tennis match? Federer? Who is that? Are you ever going to do any videos with Dusty? Again, Dusty doesn't need the help of an 11,000 subscribed YouTube channel. Dusty's on to bigger and better things. Again, if somebody asked me to do something, I'd reconsider. But I am, as the Canadian atheist pointed out, I am just a little speck on the map, on the global map of atheism. I am very small. How come you never link Katie's channels? Oh, there's Carly. What's up, Carly? Katie, it's the same channel. It's like Love Revelation TV. The point is, she disabled comments on half of them, if not all of them. I think all of them are disabled. So there's no point. The point of sending out the flying monkeys is to rain hellfire and monkey shit and napalm on the person in question. But she's gone completely crazy, by the way, you guys. Katie is a life coach now, and she has a plastic veneer on her face. It is scary. It's like this fake smile where she smiles with her mouth but not her eyes, and she's like, God is coming soon. And she's in this apartment or this house that has no furniture, and like her weird older husband is somewhere lurking, and he just goes off to work, and she's just left alone to make these videos and to sort of ponder over the coming rapture. She went from terrible to worse than terrible. Like before, when I first started doing videos on her, she was a college girl. She was like, she was attending Auburn or University of Alabama. Like she was a functional human being. She graduated college. Surely she had friends that were not in the psycho-Christian subset. She probably went to parties and she had fun and she would smile and that's why it was interesting, because it was like, oh my God, we are witnessing the person go off the ledge. Okay. Moving on. What the fuck is a furry? Yeah, I'd like to know. I mean, if you guys want to see me dissect a furry, but the problem is this guy won't reveal his name. How can I take him seriously? He's like, oh no, there's nothing wrong with being a furry. Yeah, furry is great. Furryism. It's the new thing. Originally, he came on defending bronies, and then he's like, well, no, I'm not a brony, though. I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with being a brony. I'm a furry. It's an amazing stance. It is fascinating. I could do that as just a total freak show. By the way, is there a furry con? There's got to be. I mean, there's got to be. It's weird. Like, it used to just be Star Trek, and that was the sort of bug light for these dorks. But now it's moved over. And I'm not talking about your average Star Trek fan, okay? I am an average Star Trek fan. I watched the Next Generation, but there's a level. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a fan of science fiction. I'm a fan of all sorts of shit. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons growing up. Okay, how's that for an admission? But see, I didn't play it to the level that these people are, quote unquote, playing their games. So yeah, I would play Dungeons and Dragons, and then I'd go out and be the fucking, score the winning goal of the soccer game, and then go have sex with my girlfriend. There's a difference there. I hope you can see the difference. Cough. Tongue. Cushion. Give you some sound bites. Give you a little soundboard action. What do you make of Dabiq magazine? Yeah, that's what, ISIS mag or Al Qaeda? What do I make of it? I think it's horrifying. And what is that a rhetorical question? I mean, I wipe my ass with it. Although it wouldn't be good for that because it's probably glossy. It's a glossy mag. I mean, they put money behind it. Yeah, it's scary as hell. The issue of Islam, the problem with Islam is that now that we have the internet and easy access to communication and the free exchange of ideas, the party's over for them. We are now exchanging the idea that their ideas are shit ideas. Their best technique before the internet and before 9/11 was laying low. They were trying to hang out, lurk in the background, and just, they were doing monstrous things in their sections of the world. But the rest of the world didn't know, especially America. And as any American will tell you, that's the only country that matters. In America, we didn't give a rat's ass. Are you kidding? We were worried about Y2K before 9/11. Y2K. Okay? That tells you all. I mean, we were making movies. There was hysteria about Y2K. That's how under the radar Islam was. And then 9/11, and then Osama had to fuck it up for them. And now, for the first time in human history, Islam is being exposed. A critical light is shining on that religion, and it's not turning out well for them. And of course, all the apologists are coming in, oh no, it's not all, there's a spectrum, moderate, and who's the real Islam? Ben Affleck, oh, so you know the full official codified version of Islam? No, okay, thanks, Ben. All those smoke screens are coming up, and we're sifting through all that. People like me, we are unpiling the bullshit and the smoke screen and saying, okay, wait, no, underneath this, it is still a terrible set of ideas. And we still must be against it as radically as possible. In fact, I saw a video the other day, I think it was in France, where there was a Muslim meeting, and these two women jump up on stage, topless, and they have on their body written some message about like, pro-woman, or just, saying, fuck you people for being so misogynistic, something along those lines. And it was beautiful. That is feminism. It was like, I think it was a group called Femin, I don't know. But women, topless women, attractive, thin, topless women, They get up there and they are fighting what feminism should be doing. Instead of fighting against Photoshop and the evils of Photoshop, they should be getting in Muslims' faces and saying, hey, what about the billion women out there, or I don't know, 800 million, however many women are living in the Muslim world? They're the ones on the front line having to deal with this sort of sexism. Honor killings, rapes. Jesus Christ. Indonesia, if you want to be if you're a woman that wants to work for the government, they test to see if you're a virgin physically. It's not a yes or no question. It's a physical check of your hymen. I said the word hymen today. I wasn't planning on doing it. That's a first. Okay. Micropenis, G-man, and furries. That's a tough group, Rue. I don't know if you could do it. Yeah, that's who I'm up against. This is the scum, the dregs of the internet that gets put before me. Ugh. Sargon has some disagreement about judging individual people, free will, determinism. Oh man, not that rabbit hole. Well, that sounds like a mental masturbation, intellectual, sort of philosophical conversation. I'm not sure how it applies to reality. I'm not sure how you want to bring up determinism and free will into like sentencing, into the judicial system. Very difficult to say the word judicial without sounding like you're drunk. But yeah, I mean, I am somebody who judges people on their actions. I believe people have a choice to make actions. Okay, I find it interesting and fascinating that yes, I understand that there are things that we don't have control over. What we think of next, we don't actually have control over that. And so there is some interesting philosophical ground to cover there. But look, you cannot lose track of some obvious things, that practical things. If we're going to run this world in an organized way, in a way that is not chaotic, we have to hold people accountable for their actions. Hey, I'm the furry guy from Twitter. How do I work this? How do you work this? You type messages, I read them and comment on them. That's how you work it. And again, that is not your name. You are hiding your name. You are ashamed of who you are and what you do in your life. Hence, you hide your name. Because you are a member of Generation P. My name is Devin Tracy. I approve that message. Okay. I'm going to do about 10 more minutes, y'all, because I got to go to the gym. Otherwise, I'm going to be ending up like TJ, the Amazing Atheist. Reading. Devin, how do you judge Angela Merkel's actions? I find her to be ludicrous. I find her to be very, very safe. I wonder where Angela Merkel lives. I wonder if she's going to be personally affected by the million Muslims coming in. Probably not. I'm going to say probably not. I think this is a PR campaign for Germany. I've said it before. When you think of Germany, you think of Nazism, World War II. And I mean, that's fuck. The fact that I'm living in Germany, I get spill off from the Nazis. How many people have called me a Nazi? Why? I'm white. I have a shaved head. I live in Germany. Case closed. Oh, I spoke about black people, and I didn't do it in a beta way. I did it in an honest way. Oh yeah, Nazi. There was a video, a guy asking Americans, name me two Germans. Name two German people. They could not do it. They could not do it. They went straight to Hitler. They could not name Schweinsteiger. Sieg Heil. Exactly. Somebody puts that in my comments. Okay, I'm towards the latest comments, and somebody asked me, you live in Germany? Yes, I live in Germany. Ja, Deutschland, yeah. The land of the whites. Actually, it's more like the land of the browns. Yeah, it's the land of the Turkish. I live in northern Istanbul. There he is. White supremacy is unstoppable. Yet another hangout which he doesn't engage with me. Well, I just did white supremacy is unstoppable. What is your point? Yet again, Here's a guy. Now, do you see him in the chat? This is a guy with a KKK thing on, hood on, who's making fun of me. He's saying I am a member of KKK. This is a guy who thinks I am a white supremacist. Now, Mr. White Supremacist, you write something in the chat of any relevance, and I will address it. Also, White Supremacist-Unstoppable, let's mention right now that you will not state your name because you're a pussy and a member of Generation P. You're a Gen Peer. You are more than happy to attack me and insult me and slander me, hiding from a hidden vantage point. That's you. Here's me. State your name. Here's you. No. Now, I'm reading this. Are you vegan? No, I'm not vegan, but I'm vegan by default because my girlfriend's vegan and she's a chef. So she makes the food for me morning, noon, and night, and it's all vegan. She made me a fish once when we were living in Seattle. But I do sneak out and eat duna, which is a Turkish sort of meat sandwich. Very good. Okay, now I'm reading here. Rue, what do you think of the situation in Turkey right now? Support the kebab remover PKK. Not sure what that meant, but yeah, I mean, apparently it's a disaster. There's so much bad news out of Turkey all the time. They were fire hosing people in a gay pride parade. There's child marriage going on there. There's terrorist acts, bombs blowing up. I mean, they are beyond racist. You got the Armenian genocide situation. You got the Kurds. You got the PKK. You got everything. It's crazy. I'm looking for white supremacy here. Hold on. Let me see if he's mouthing off. I want to see if he has anything to say, and I want to see him not say his name in public. I called you out. See, he says, Devin noticed me. What the fuck is Gen P? Gen P is Generation Pussy. Sorry. Generation Pussy. We had Gen X, we had Gen Y, we had Millennials. Now we're in something different. An age that is defined by anonymity. An age that is defined by being a victim. Being a social justice warrior. This is the common thread. Hide behind a mask, find yourself an echo chamber, complain and bitch and whine and be a pussy. That's Gen P. What is my opinion of Geert Wilders? I've done a couple videos on him, and I think I agree with an enormous amount of what he says. I've listened to full speeches. The full speech he gave in Dresden, the full speech he gave in Garland, Texas. I mean, fuck it. I'm not trying to marry this guy. I'm sure there's some things I disagree with, but like, I don't think we should ban the Quran. I think it should be publicized and read in public before you ban it. But he was making a point that you can ban things like Mein Kampf, and the Quran is worse than Mein Kampf. So yeah, he has a good point. But I agree with him on so much and on so many important things, like the notion of we should say fuck Islam and we should address the people in this death cult and the varying degrees in which they believe in the doctrines of that death cult. We should address it in an honest way. This is a guy standing up. Here's a non-Gen Peer. Geert Wilders lived before the internet. If Geert Wilders wanted to say something in school, in life, at work, he would have to say it and take the repercussions for saying it. That's who that guy is. That's the generation he came from. I came from. So it's no surprise that you get 13-year-old little bitch-ass motherfuckers who come on here and say, you're a racist. Ha ha ha. I'm going to hide my name. You're a racist. You're a racist. From the back of the crowd. And then I say, wait a minute, what's your name? Who said that? Who said that? They're wrong. What's your name? Come say it to me like a man. And then they run and scurry and play the victim card, like Vadim Newquist, who freaked out that I told the world his name. Oh, that's not fair. What the fuck? Dude, you did not read the memo. That's the rules of Gen P. Bullshit. Would you ever go on a holiday to a Muslim country? I have traveled the earth. I have circumnavigated the globe. Okay, I've traveled a ton. I work from my laptop. And there are a couple countries I considered going to, but then did not because of Muslims. And that was Istanbul, the country of Istanbul. No, the city of Istanbul. I thought better of it, and I did not go there. I went to Budapest instead. And Israel. I thought, do I want to take the chance? At the time, there was some shit going down. But I was like, I kind of want to go visit Israel, but I could go to Rio. And so I went to Rio instead. Can you blame me? Now, I'm trying to find this dude, if he said anything. What is my opinion of Tim Wise? I don't know who Tim Wise is. Somebody explain it. Notice me, senpai. I noticed you. I noticed that you have a name that sounds like you're from the Geert Wilders neck of the woods, because it's Jesse Van Eck, like Van Nistelrooy. Am I right? Thoughts on the death penalty? Yeah, interesting. I think, again, you can have a philosophical discussion about that. My knee-jerk reaction is to fry them. I believe in the death penalty. Then I am willing to listen to people who talk about situations where you can get it wrong. The fact that we have gotten it wrong in the past. So I would be in favor of a standard that is higher than every other sort of sentencing standard, where if it's a fucking obvious case, then yeah, kill him. Like, for example, Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof, what? A white guy who wants to kill Dylan Roof? One of my fellow whites? Yeah, kill Dylan Roof. I mean, then again, I'm also open to hearing the case about how being alive is worse. See, the thing is, it jumps right into what you think happens after you die. Because religious people, if you kill the guy, he's going to hell. They think he's going to hell. An atheist knows that he will just cease to exist, and he will not be able to suffer. He will not be able to, and because he's not being able to suffer, there is no punishment. This is a nice thing that people do. This is what you do to your beloved pet. You put them to sleep if they're suffering. Look at the way I just described it. I put them to sleep. You know, you personally out there believe in the death penalty when it comes to your cat and dog, out of benevolence. That's the nicest thing you could do. So I'm open to talking about that, and we can have a discussion on it if you want. I am continuing to read. Do you believe in following your passion or finding passion in something that you've ended up doing? No, it doesn't work like that. You must follow your passion. Finding passion in something that you've ended up doing is settling for what you're doing. It's making the best of what you're doing. While that might be a good thing in theory, I think the ideal should be figuring out what you're passionate about first. Here's the other way to do it. Figure out what you're not passionate about. Okay? Go to an office job. Have your soul sucked out of you on a daily basis. And then work backwards. Reverse engineer your passion. I like this. Give them 20 years, then execute them. You know what? Gamil Pruitt, I don't know how to pronounce it. That is actually basically what happens when somebody gets sentenced to death because of the appeal process. It takes about 20 years, and it costs us, millions in taxpayer dollars before we actually kill them. So that's the de facto way it is, even when you're on death row. I can't stand Sargon. Really? He seems pretty harmless. He seems like a teddy bear. He's a gamer. He's a father. He's British. He's got an accent. He likes tea. I mean, what's not to like here? Death to O.J. Simpson. Exactly. And why the fuck is O.J. Simpson alive? Why is Lacey Peterson, Scott Peterson? Why is Scott Peterson still alive? Scott Peterson killed his 9-month pregnant wife in California. He got married in jail to a new woman, a new, blonde woman. I mean, the guy could be getting conjugal visits right now on Alcatraz, for all I know. Ridiculous. Kill him. Okay. By the way, I have not seen White Supremacy is Unstoppable. He's gone away. He's not commenting. Do you still train BJJ? No. I don't train BJJ, but I'm a huge fan of all things mixed martial arts. I love the UFC. I love the Gracies. I trained with Rickson Gracie and his son, Hoksoon, who died tragically in a motorcycle accident. I am friends with his daughter, who I used to teach. I taught at a summer camp, like this dance summer camp. I was basically friends with all the dance teachers, and I would teach art class and things like that. And her name is Quan Gracie, also an amazing woman, lives in Rio. And the Gracie family they're the pioneering family of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and their students are all over the UFC. And yeah, they're the best. Amazing. Wouldn't trade that experience for the world. But now I just go to the gym and run, and I lift. I basically bench. So I head down there and I do some dead lifts, some squats, and usually like a small crowd forms, and I give them what they want for the ladies. Okay, here's white supremacy. Devin, I am a fan of yours. I created this account in support of you as a parody of people who call you KKK and racist. My real account is Robert the Boss. Okay, well, there you go. So it was a misunderstanding. This man is on my side. He was joking. This is dark humor. So let's all relax. Let's take a deep breath. There's nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Black people should stop committing crimes. Hold on. Let me explain that to you. The black people who are committing crimes should stop committing crimes. You dumb motherfuckers. Okay. I got one. Devin, ever fucked a black girl? Wow. He dropped that bomb. Yes. The answer is yes. Yeah. I had a black girlfriend for 3 years. And yes, not just her. I've fucked multiple black women. Multiple. Racist. Also, I masturbated to Beyonce in public. Would you ever march with Pegida? No, probably not. But I support aspects of what they say. Like, it's not all or nothing. It's not like, unless you're completely right about everything, I say fuck you and I distance myself from you. No, they have amazing points to make. They also have unsavory characters in their midst. This is not the perfect anti-Islamic group. Glenn Beck has good shit to say against Islam. Bill O'Reilly does. Needless to say, they have some stupid shit that they say as well, which I'm not behind, but I support their stance on that issue. Cushion. Yeah. When will I do a video response to the Young Nazis video on 9/11? It was such a comical joke, wasn't it? Holy shit. They did a video. It was about a Sikh guy getting beaten up in Chicago. And I am waiting to see the picture of the guy who beat up the Sikh. Because if he was black, I guarantee you they're not doing a follow-up to it. Now, if he was a white country bumpkin, some Eminem-looking dude, they will do a follow-up. Racist. Those motherfuckers are so racist. It's crazy. How do you feel about Cenk getting arrested for domestic violence? Did he? Please tell me he did. That would be awesome. If he fucked a black girl, he cannot be racist. Exactly. Exactly my point. Yeah, it's very strange. I think the Young Turks did a video about, are you sexist based on your sexual preferences? No, are you racist based on your sex? Like, who you have sex with. Unless you're having sex with a rainbow of people, like, then apparently you're racist. You cannot have a preference. White supremacy is unstoppable. Thanks, Devin. Love you. Exactly. You are forgiven, my son. Welcome back to the fold. Take your hood off. Stop being a Gen P KKK member. See, the KKK are pussies, man. They hide behind a mask. The 5,000 members of the KKK. It's unbelievable that it's even a phrase that we're familiar with, the KKK. Christ almighty. There are 50,000 members of the Nation of Islam, which is a hate group. There are literally millions of bronies. Now, granted, the bronies are not terrorists, so they're a little bit more harmless. Would you purchase? Wait, would you perchance? What is? Would you purchase on of Anna Kasparian's shoes? Would you flaunt it on the channel? One of. Okay. Would you purchase one of Anna? Is she selling her shoes? All I know is that TYT, they want a new host, and I'm gonna go after this host like a chimpanzee going after somebody's face. Face ripping chimp mode is gonna, we'll see what kind of regressive they unearth for this, but I guarantee you it's not going to be somebody I like. Devin, would you consider doing a video on the inflated Iraqi death count in the Iraq War? Leftists cite a number around 2 million. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I sort of covered this in the Abby Martin video, the dumpster fire that is Abby Martin, who is blowing up this number. It's the same mentality. Let me explain something to you. A civil war in Syria, a civil war in Iraq, Sunnis killing Shias, Sunnis killing Kurds. They blame every death of those on us, on Western imperialism. It's just not going to fly. There's no merit to that. I mean, this is similar to the regressives. They are uncomfortable with me criticizing black criminals because they say, no, it's not about, don't judge them on their actions. It's about poverty. And guess who caused poverty in the black community? Guess who's responsible for the situation in the black community? Guess who's responsible for systemic racism? Wink, wink. Guess who's responsible for black people even being in America in the first place? White people. So it all goes back to white people. So really, black criminality, you can really trace it back to fuck white people. Just like, oh, the war in Syria, yeah, the Muslim beheading another Muslim, we're going to tack that on to the George Bush death count. Thank you very much. That's really the fault of fuck USA. I don't buy it. You shouldn't buy it. And if you ever hear somebody suggest it, you should destroy them, shame them, bum rush them, attack. Okay. Do you have any book recommendations on knowledge or learning or critical thinking? I would know. I'm not a reader. I'm like Sarah Palin. I don't read books very much. I read Sam Harris books. I read occasional fiction, occasional. I would read the new Majid Nawaz book. As far as critical thinking, go wild, read it. We have a limited amount of time. I am occupying my time reading and investigating shit online, which is quite a source of information. But books, I mean, Harry Potter. That's my recommendation. Opinions on Secular Talk, reaction to Sam Harris, Dave Rubin interview. It was an abortion. It was the afterbirth of an abortion. So I don't know what you'd call that, but the gunk that comes out of a woman's vaginal canal after an abortion, that's what Secular Talk is. That's who he is. Fuck that kid. Would you submit a video for becoming a host on TYT that is shitting on them? I'm going to shit on the Young Turks no matter what. Okay, these people are beneath me. I don't know how to put that. I don't care about subscriber count. I care about ideas. Ideas are worth their weight in gold. If you got a good idea, it's going to skyrocket. For example, I had a good idea. I had a good video that I made for Sam Harris. It has 500,000 views now. When I made that video, I had 10 subscribers. It spread around because it was good. I did a video the other day, the Reza remix. Now, it spread around because prominent people shared it on their Twitter and Facebook, but they did that because it was good, because my ideas were good, because the quality was good. I care about quality, not quantity, except when it comes to women, in which I care about spreading my seed. I employ the strategy of the salmon. Kyle Kalinske is a mini Uyghur. Exactly. Devin is definitely left. Exactly. I'm left. I'm on the right side of being left. I mean, the correct side. I'm on the correct side of being on the left. And by the way, there should be more than two groups. Okay, we should have more than two distinctions. Because as you can see, there is an enormous amount of dissent between people on each side. Carrie Kidd is your number one fan for sure. Devin, what do you think of SD? Oh, Jesus. Some guy whose name I can't pronounce in Sweden. And would you choose to fuck a man or Jacqueline Glenn? Oh, God. Would I choose to fuck a man or Jacqueline Glenn? No, she's a Playboy model. Of course I have to fuck Jacqueline Glenn. The question is what position? Do I look at her face or not? What is the duration of this fuck fest? You know what I do to fuck Jacqueline Glenn? I would beat off. I would get myself excited. I would stroke myself to completion, almost to the verge of completion. Then I would stick in the tip, doggy style, and end it. Just to fulfill your dream of me fucking Jacqueline Glenn. That's the only way to fuck Jacqueline Glenn. And then you must escape immediately before she can utter a syllable. Run. LA girls, LA women, all of you are lucky to not be in LA and have to deal with Jacqueline Glenn types running around Los Angeles, going to yoga, going to Starbucks, bitching at work, yapping. High maintenance, people, I'm telling you. Narcissism run amok. Sam Cedar is worse than them all. Yes, Sam Cedar is an absolute disgrace. Hate the man. Loathe him. Screw him. Very curious, please answer. What is he talking about? As you often point out, black people commit a disproportionate amount of crime. Do you have any policy suggestions to remedy this, or are you just pointing it out so some people have to face up to it? Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about solutions, my friend. Nobody's talking about solutions because nobody's talking about the problem. Nobody's dealing with the problem. Nobody's acknowledging the problem. Let me ask you a question. Are the Young Turks going to do a video today about the 12 people that were killed in Chicago last weekend? There were 45 shot or wounded, gunfire, and like 12 black people dead at the hands of other black people. Now, are the Young Turks, who have a platform to cover current events, they could cover the story. Are they going to cover the story? And even if they did, which I doubt they will they talk about the fact that this is happening in the black community? That Chicago is an absolute eyesore and disgrace because of the violence, because of the culture of violence, and because of the statistics, which are atrocious. Or will Cenk turn it into a gun control issue? That's the only way he would cover it. It's gun control. It has to do with poverty. He will deflect. Now, you know my stance on guns. I'm not even going to go there. But yeah, as far as suggestions, how about fathers? One word solution to the problem in the black community. Fathers. Let's start there. Do you remember The Cosby Show? No, most of you don't, because most of you were born like 2 years ago. The Cosby Show was a mythical black family. Okay, I watched The Cosby Show. I lived in Los Angeles. I've never seen a black family like the Cosbys. Now, there are some affluent black families, yes, but the proportion, the percentage, it is so low. That family was put up as a model, as a, look, this is aspirational. Look, this could be possible theoretically, where you'd have a stand-up, moral black man who's a great black father, and he's a rich guy, he's a doctor, his wife is a high-powered lawyer, they have a great relationship, they got kids. It's amazing, right? Turns out Bill Cosby's a fucking rapist, okay? So that's a little beautiful twist to it. But I've never seen that family in person. I've never met that family because it's statistically unbelievably rare. But what was it showing? What was it showing? It was showing a black father. What was the show about? The show was about a black father raising his kids, teaching them the right from wrong. Theo, his son went to school. His daughters went to college. They were expected to do this because he would not have it any other way. He demanded this standard. That's a good thing. I support that. You do not find this. This is not typical. Tupac's father did not tell him you must go to college. Tupac's father was so fucking long gone. Oh my God. Snoop Dogg's father, not there. Okay. What you have to understand is there's a difference. When you have a father who is regulating on you from day one, you're not going to be 13 years old going out gang banging, smoking pot, hanging out with the wrong crowd. No, he's going to be on your ass. Tommy Sotomayor is a black father raising his kids and doing a great job of it. Go watch his channel. Shaquille O'Neal's father, Shaquille O'Neal's stepfather, a military man. He raised this monster. Shaq could easily have gotten into gangbanging. like so many other people in the NBA have done or came from a background like that. Rasheed Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, where's his dad? I mean, look, the reason Shaquille O'Neal is a stand-up guy who has never so much as sniffed any drama online. Okay, yes, he's cheated on his wife. Yes, a couple discretions. But compared to Plexico Burress and people, Shaquille O'Neal's father is the reason. That is a huge reason why he has not broken the law in his life. And you know who would tell you that? Shaquille O'Neal would, and Shaquille O'Neal's father would, and anybody who knows him and his situation, his life story. So that's the number one thing that I would say. And then, of course, education. My God, get a job. Stop celebrating a culture of criminality and violence. Just stop. Own up to your actions. I say this for all groups. There are white sections of this country that are despicable. I spit on these people. Fuck these people. Gangbangers. Mexican gangbangers. This is not exclusively black. The reason that attention is drawn to them specifically is because you get liberal leftists like Jacqueline Glenn who will pop up when Dylan Roof goes on a shooting spree and say, oh, you know what the problem is in this country? It's white racists. And it's white racists killing black people. That's the big problem. We got white racists everywhere. In fact, look, the police who brought in Dylan Roof, they didn't even do it the same way they do it with black people. That's kind of racist too. This is such insane dog shit. And then they go off on some tangent and like, you remember slavery? You remember the Confederacy? You remember Jim Crow? Let's get in the DeLorean and go back and talk about that shit. No. Anybody who's honest will take a look at the problems in the black community and find out who it is to blame. Who are we looking at? Who is the problem here? Who's owning up to it? It's not the white people's job to fix the black community. Our society has put systemic things in place to help black people, poor people, underprivileged people. These things have already been achieved and done. Welfare, scholarships, affirmative action for years on end. What do you think that is for? You know, we're not going to hold your hand. We're not your daddy. We're not your parents. You have every opportunity and chance that everybody else has. I mean, so it's such victimhood. It's such scapegoating. It's so cowardly and weak. It's bullshit. And if you happen to not be a beta male, then you will announce that to them. Just like black people that I've highlighted on my channel, announce it to them. But everybody freaks out. Everybody wants the boogeyman. Everybody wants to blame somebody else. Oh yeah, it's the white people. Fucking systemic, institutional racism. That doesn't exist. Sorry, that's a made-up term. That's Islamophobia. Systemic racism. Fucking bullshit. So weak, so sick of it. Now, why do you dislike Matt Dillahunty? Because he said something nasty to me on Twitter. Yeah, he's just a dick. Matt Dillahunty is a dick. Okay? He's a chubby asshole. I mean, he makes great points. I love what he does for atheism. I admire the work he has done in the trenches of hammering over these arguments time and time again. Amazing. He's just an asshole. And he personally attacked me, so I don't like him anymore. Okay, where are we? Denouncing anyone who disagrees with you as a beta male is counterproductive. No, it's not. No, it's true. And first of all, you just strawman me. I'm not saying everybody disagrees with me as a beta male. When did I say that? I'm saying if your stance is I'm not going to address the black people responsible for the condition of the black community, for the actions taken by black people, if you're not willing to announce that they need to face up to this and own it, then you are a pussy and you are a beta. There's alpha males that disagree with me all the time. When did I say that was the paradigm? I didn't. Oh, that's right. I didn't. You just suggested I did out of thin air because you're a fuck. Unsubscribe. Will you do a chat with Armored Skeptic and Mr. Matoker? Don't know the second one. Armored Skeptic. He will avoid me like the plague because I am toxic. I am controversial. I'm listed in the Rational Wiki as controversial secularist. Okay, we're actually listed right next to each other. It's kind of funny because we both start with an A. But the Armored Skeptic likes to ride the fence. He likes to talk to people on both sides of the argument. So he might think that the cons outweigh the pros with talking with me. Now, also, we agree on stuff. Okay, we agree on most stuff. I don't, if he wants to bring something up, be my guest. But the Armored Skeptic has a budding empire. The guy's selling stuff. He's doing this full time. He sees this as a future life. He's got a huge fan following. He doesn't need to talk to me. He doesn't want to talk to me. He's never asked to talk to me. The one thing I love about the Armored Skeptic is his hatred of Jenny McDermott, that balding, decrepit hag. Okay, that woman is vile, heinous. Everybody should go and personally dump monkey shit on Jenny McDermott. Yeah, she did the same shit with me. She's an attention whore. She is so seeking validation. She is so wants to be somebody and yet is so not. It's beautiful. It is beautiful to watch her life. I am a witness to the life, the failed existence of Jenny McDermott. And she tries to out the Armored Skeptic and doxed him, showed his pictures, and revealed all these private messages. Jenny McDermott revealed a private message I sent to her. I mean, it's fucking laughable. She is pathetic. I sent her a private message asking her to do an Atheist React video. It's the same message I copy and pasted to the dozens of other people I've asked to be on my Atheist React shit. And she's like, look, a guy who has, some sort of internet celebrity, he talked to me. He said my name. He had a private conversation with me. He wants to fuck me. That's her thing. She wants to be sexually desirable. This woman with a gunt the size of Arkansas. I don't know if you guys know what a gunt is. Anybody who's not from America, or maybe that's a California term, go look up the term gunt. Do an image search on that. That would be my goal in life, is to, if you type in the word gunt, you see Jenny McDermott doing squat lunges in that one video of hers. Revolting. So as far as I'm concerned, the Armored Skeptic could be a sociopath. He could be a murderer. As long as he hates Jenny McDermott, I'm on his side and I have his back, and I will be the best man at his wedding. Motherfucker. All right, you guys, I gotta roll out here. She has a dude face. Okay. So I hope that you all enjoyed. Hold on, here we go. One more. Also, on one hand, you denounce echo chambers, but seem to be quick to attack those who disagree. Wait a minute, Garden Gnome. I just addressed you, who is disagreeing with me. I could have just read positive comments. I didn't. I addressed your negative comment about me. So what's your point? Are you kidding me? I seek out dissent. Who do you think's going up against people in the atheist community? Me. I just did a debate with a guy who thinks I'm a racist. Was that an echo chamber? Garden Gnome? You little douche. Wait, but it seems to be quick to attack those who disagree? Yeah, of course I attack those who disagree, because I disagree. Why wouldn't? That's the whole point of disagreeing. All I'm saying is, unless you're dancing, bear it up less of that. What? Unless you're dancing, bearing it up less of that would produce better results. What results? Garden, who are you to presume what I'm trying to do here? What result are you talking about? The betterment of humanity? You people are stalking me. I did not ask you to be here, Garden Gnome. I did not ask a single human being to subscribe to me. I am in my own living room talking to myself. You people are stalkers. Let's get that straight. So what is my objective? My objective is to express myself intellectually and artistically, to shame and mock people, to present my ideas. Do you think my goal is to change your opinion, Garden Gnome? By the way, another Jen peer. Another person who will not tell me his name. He's willing to criticize me and attack me in a public forum, but he won't say his fucking name. What year were you born, Garden Gnome? I got news for you. Garden Gnome did not grow up with Nirvana. Garden Gnome grew up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Pokemon. Fucking Garden Gnome. Cushion. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you are sitting cross-legged on a cushion. I'm going to go to the gym now and run. And I'm going to think about what I said. And yeah, it's all live. It's all recorded. I can't change any of it. So I'm going to have to defend myself. Did I say anything controversial? Did I say anything I will regret? No, I didn't. So thank you guys. And I love you. And stalk on.